Hello and welcome to a little session on Saturn in Sagittarius by Mimi and Nikki. And I just wanted to give you a little overview of what I feel Saturn in Sagittarius is going to be like. I've actually been having quite a few dreams about this and discussions in my dreams with the universe about, I don't know, what's coming up. It's been really illuminating, which I think Saturn and Sagittarius can be very illuminating. So people can have kind of a scary idea of Saturn. Saturn can feel limiting. It can make you feel small. And Sagittarius is the opposite of that because Sagittarius is all about expansion. And so I don't really look at Saturn so much as limiting, especially as a Sagittarius myself. Instead, I like to look at it as lessons. And, you know, in the Kabbalah, which I really, really relate to with Saturn, Saturn represents understanding. And Sagittarius in some Western astrology also represents understanding. So it's like these two entities are coming to a new understanding. And so Saturn will be entering Sagittarius officially on December 23rd, 2014, and will be moving through all the way through, I think, June 14th. And then it's going to retrograde back into Scorpio, and then come back in for the long haul back in, let's see, September 17th, and that's going to be in there through 2017. So we've got some time to work with this understanding energy. And so the biggest thing that keeps coming to me with Saturn and Sagittarius is the energy of allowing. You know, Sagittarius can have a very open-minded view of the world. Sagittarius in their highest self can really be a place of like, okay, I see the big picture. I see that's your truth and this is my truth. And I think that's the spirit of allowing, is bringing understanding to a place of that's that person's truth and this is my truth. And in this way, we can expand ourselves instead of being contracting. I think if we get into that place of like the heavy-handed truth, like this is my truth and you need to follow that truth, then we're going to feel those Saturn limitations instead of the allowance into expansion. And what also I think is really interesting in helping us with this expansion is that when Saturn moves into Sagittarius, we are going to have Jupiter in Leo, and Jupiter in Leo is working on expanding our hearts, you know, opening up our hearts. Right now it's retrograde, so it's working on opening our hearts to ourselves, but when it turns up, you know, it turns direct again, it's going to be about opening our hearts to others, opening up our creativity, opening up our expression. And then we also have Uranus in Aries. And Uranus and Aries, and both of these, you know, are fire signs, so they are going to be definitely working with the energy of Sagittarius. Uranus in Aries is helping us shift our own I am expression. Aries is the I am vibration. So it's shifting us to get us to step into our truth even a little bit more, you know, bit by bit, more into our vibration. And so as others are stepping into their other, you know, their true I am vibration, we need to open up our hearts and practice this expansive allowing, this understanding, so that everybody can basically be themselves. And that, I feel like, is the essence of it. You know, Sagittarius does have the energies of philosophy, higher education, religion, and I think these are all going to be topics of truth, because we all, maybe not all, but there is a desire in me to know the truth. And as I've been doing this work, I've kind of come to a place where I've decided for me that maybe there isn't a definitive truth. And it's kind of relative, and it's kind of from where you're at. And so when I can come from that place, I can see that person where what they're experiencing over there, it may not be my truth. It may not be the energy that I want to exist in, but they have to live their process. And I think the other thing, you know, this is going to cause a lot of growth within us. And that can be scary, and it can cause us to be kind of, I don't know, wonky. Like, oh my God, who am I? I don't even know myself anymore. I'm kind of experiencing that with me already. Like, I'm like seeing myself want to expand in ways. I'm like, really? Who am I? But it's kind of allowing. And Saturn does represent structure. So with Saturn in Sagittarius, your structure is going to change and expand. I think the final thing that I want to say right now about this is, we've been processing through Saturn and Scorpio. And Saturn and Scorpio really had us dealing with the foundation of our structure, our root chakra, which is our survival and our fears. And so if we've worked with our fears, we're now set up perfectly to step into this place of adventure, to step into this place of expansion with a new, solid foundation. So that's what I'm really feeling. Nikki?
Yeah, I love what you said about Sag, because that's kind of what I'm getting. What I feel about Saturn is a very interesting. I feel like it takes on a different shape for every single sign that it goes in. Virgo for me, because I'm a Virgo, was very interesting, and then Libra was very different, and so on and so forth. With this, what I love about this kind of feeling is I'm not as scared of Saturn and Sagittarius as I was with Scorpio, and I also went through my natal Saturn return, so it was very heavy for me. However, Scorpio also, we just went through like some really deep, old, karmic trauma, dealing with issues that we didn't really want to look at. But this, because Sagittarius is so expansive, I think that we have all these grandiose ideas. You might shift in your belief structure, or you might have these big dreams and goals, and you might have had them for a long time. But what I love about Saturn coming into this particular sign is it might go, I know this might not feel fun, but we're going to give you structure, we're going to give you a plan, and if you really want this, we're going to help you get what you want. That's what I feel with this Saturn and Sagittarius. I mean, it's even looming, and I'm starting to feel it go, all right, this big dreamer, let's get it a solid structure, plan, something that we can really look forward to, and then by the end of the transit, you might have what you've always been talking about. So what I'm getting also with this transit, you're going to probably go in a shift of beliefs. And a belief structure shift can be difficult at times, because if you hold on to these old belief structures that you had, sometimes it's a shedding of identity. So it can be hard. It can, that might be the part where you're like, this kind of hurts. And you might have to learn new habits. And let me tell you, learning new habits, it takes a second. Ask anybody who's tried to start a gym routine or a new diet or a new way of being. Sometimes we fall off the horse, and we have to get back on and do it again. But what the great thing about Saturn is, he's all right, you fell off the horse. There it is. Come on, get your butt up. Let's go. And so, you will have that kind of energy to give you a swift kick in the butt a little bit. You know what I mean? And then I need it. So I'm kind of excited to have this transit happen. I also think that if you've ever dreamt about traveling or breaking free of your own religion, this is a really good time to do so. It's also a good time to heal that. Like if you had to break free of a dogmatic system and you still have like anger around it or resentment or frustration, this is also a really good time to heal that and see things in a higher vibration. But that's what I'm getting for it. So this is a really good time to make things happen. You just got to see that these two that are very different, the dreamer and the planner, they can be put together, and you really can do what you want to do. I mean, he's the archer. Sag is the archer. It's like you got an intention or a direction. If you know a Capricorn in your life, they'll get you there. The hotel at 8 o'clock, So I think this is going to be a very interesting 3 years of manifesting your dreams.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. The other thing that I forgot to mention is that what's interesting, so Saturn rules Capricorn. So Sagittarius is actually the 12th house for Saturn. And the 12th house is a place of also knowing how to go with the flow and follow your intuition. And Sagittarius, I as a Sagittarius have a quote, and it's basically, knowledge without intuition is nothing. And so I think it's going to be a really important time to tune in, like Nikki said, to a higher vibration, healing those old religious things that, said, oh, that's not right. It's time to, like, okay, what does my intuition say about it? What's again, getting back into the truth, what's true for me with this? And then the Saturn, I think the keywords for Saturn are discipline, patience, and persistence. So like Nikki said again, like if you fall off the horse, keep getting back on. You've got your support. Saturn is very supportive in this. And those lessons, they may not feel good, but that's where you need to remember. Like if Saturn's like putting down that boundary saying, hey, not that way, that's because it doesn't, the universe your expansion isn't meant to be that way. You're meant to expand in another way. So say thank you for those doors that closed during this time so that you can expand, again, into your truth, into your freedom, and into the place that you belong. So keep going. Trust that. I'm going to put out a blog on Gaia Blooming soon, going through the different signs and what Saturn in Sagittarius means for you. So check out our website, www.gaiablooming.com, for that blog. And, as much as you can, keep aiming high, keep in those good vibrations. Remember, Sagittarius is all about infinite possibilities. And, be true to yourself. Do you have anything else, Nikki?
I don't. I think that, whatever sign you are, the Sages are probably going to hit it, the hardest. But that's okay, because, you're gonna get through it, and it happens. However, whatever sign you are, try to find Sag always feels like, where can we find the positive in this? Where can we find the opportunity in this? So to me, that's kind of the energy I'm getting. So anytime it gets hard, instead of getting down on yourself, say, where is the opportunity in this? Where is the opportunity in this? Because you might find that whatever is shutting that closed door, there is an opportunity because of it.
Right.
So I love this energy because it's like both, they have such a really good balance for each other. It's like, find the opportunity in something that's heavy, and you will move mountains. I have such a really good feeling for the next 3 years in this transit.
I'm really looking forward to it too. And I have to just say, speaking of this combination of energies, Capricorn and Sagittarius, is what started Gaia Blooming. Shannon Hugman and I got together and we're like, let's do this. And then we got a Virgo on board, and look at where it's gone. So thank you for joining us. And if you find yourself struggling through, Nikki and I both do readings, so come find us on Gaia Blooming and book a reading if you need some help moving through the energy. Thank you for joining us. Namaste.
Namaste.